Okay, hey everyone. This is actually our second streaming session since we failed to record the one which you could visit on Friday. So it's actually a live re-recording. You could say it like that. So today we're gonna present you the roadmap. I'm Bogdan, and this is Vector or Alex, producer of the project Into the Radius. And we're gonna present you a roadmap and then answer all the questions which we got before the stream on Friday. And also, if we have some time, we will answer like new ones which you put into a question for devs channel. I encourage everyone to send the questions there. And yeah, let's start.
Yeah, so welcome to the stream. We want to make this format a little bit more often, like from now on. But yeah, so we want to present the roadmap for Into the Radius for the until June. That's 3 more updates. We're sticking to developing the game. We're sticking with the monthly updates. So yeah, here it is. We just released the March update last week, I think, and just to summarize the key features were the improved controls for two-handed weapons, improved controls for left-handed players. We changed the control scheme to be more symmetrical. So that's one thing. The other is performance through native Oculus SDK support on Steam also, and we support now NVIDIA Dlss for the RTX cards. So you can get your extra performance if you have a GPU supporting it. And also we added a new pistol, a smoke grenade to use it as a situational item to get away from some monsters And the last but not least are the cigarettes. Smoking is mostly just for fun. They give you some stats, but it's mostly like an immersion and fun item. So yeah, and getting into April, we want to work on the give you guys more control about your experience, how you experience the game. So we want to give you more controls in terms of graphic options. So you will have your not low, medium, high, but you can tweak the view distance, the anti-aliasing quality, and the things that you expect in a PC game, basically. And the other thing is that we want to give you control about your difficulty options. Right now you have only 2 difficulty options, the realistic one and the story one. It will transform into difficulty presets, and those presets can be edited in runtime at any basically time except the Iron Man option. And those basically we will give you an option to switch off tracers, to show where you are, to reduce the healing or equipment on death. These kind of things that are governed by difficulty, you can pick and choose one by one. In April update. Also, we are going to refactor the save game interface. It will be more slot based. Right now, you get only 4 slots and autosave slot that is shared between all those games. And if you're running Iron Man, or basically you risk losing or accidentally overriding this save. And we want to redo it this way that you will first select your slot, and inside that slot you will have more, like 4 slots for your saves and 3 slots for autosave. Those autosaves will happen at like basically you will have a backup autosave for each of those kind of your games. So no more lost progress or overriding saves, or it actually will help with multiple guys playing on the same PC. Like for example, if someone has a younger brother or this kind of thing, will definitely help. And that's about like UI and usability. The other thing, like if we talk big features, are the weapon upgrades. The weapon upgrades, in first iteration it will be done like this. You put your gun inside the shop where you repair it. There will be an upgrade button, and there for each gun there will be options that you can upgrade. Mostly we want to do the attachments and rails, because right now you don't know what guns accept what, and like there is no consistency, because like in real life you can't attach a silencer to, I don't know, unmodded PM, or because it doesn't have a threaded barrel. It doesn't even have a barrel to attach the silencer. So that's where the upgrades will come in. You will be able to upgrade it to have attachment for silencer. You will have you could upgrade it to have different rails. Basically, you could upgrade an AK so it has a NATO rail, so you can place your NATO scopes on like Russian guns also. And also it will allow to basically add attachment to any guns, like you could upgrade your shotgun to a NATO rail and put your red dot sight there. So it's basically a foundation for a bigger system. But yeah, in the first iteration it will be more or less like this. Also, the feature-wise, we want to do different backpacks. I don't think there will be much variety in April, but it basically will be a base system that we can use further on. So basically, we could provide you with backpacks with a larger volume. Like, I know that the volume doesn't it's not restricted because you can place items inside each other, but it's just for convenience. Like if you want extra convenience, you can buy a bigger backpack, but mostly they will have a difference that bigger backpacks will have more slots for primary weapons. For example, you can place like 2 or 3 primary guns on the on the backpack. Yeah, mostly it's like this. And other like smallish things that we want to tweak is the player hand inverse kinematics and improvements to doors, drawers, this kind of jank that is getting in the way of people getting really immersed in the game. So yeah, with those updates we generally try to do the remove some jank, add some new features, and improve the quality of life. That's basically we are trying to make those kind of balanced stepping stones to take. And in May, that's where everything is kind of very different and very interesting. We are aware of lots of problems inside the game, and because it has developed from early access, we changed a lot since we basically started the game. We at first, if some people remember, we didn't have any saves, and it was basically escape from Tarkov, you enter the zone with nothing, you get everything inside the zone and you like get out. But now it's a completely different balance, and we had a maintenance fee, and yeah, right now lots of things like don't precisely work together. So we decided to do a kind of overhaul. We want to split the game map into 6 or something smallish maps. Like they are not small or claustrophobic. Don't like be afraid. You will still can run around there and like have a like longer firefights, but it basically will be a system like they had in Stalker. You just walk from one map to the other, and other map has different exits to other maps connection, so they are all interconnected, and it will boost your like travel time sometimes, but sometimes you will actually need to do a longer expedition with more planning along the way, because like you would need to pass multiple maps to get to your point. This will actually help us in terms of difficulty control, because like we will be much more in control which monsters spawn where and how like the loot is distributed, and yeah, we could basically better reward you for your exploits. And that's one thing. And the other one, it will have performance, because it will make your loading times much faster. And yeah, overall, like the overall performance should be like much less of an issue if we do it that way. And once we like reorganize the map, the other thing is that we will totally revamp the balance, like the mission rewards, the prices, and everything. And the goals there are to first, we want to change the balance more to the shooting part, because right now the knives and bayonet is like overpowered, and we actually don't want it to be a melee stabbing game. We want it to be a shooting game. So we'll introduce more monsters, and the monsters will be less melee. You will overall encounter much more shooting opponents, or some like medium range opponents that actually, if you bring a knife to a firefight, then you basically are in a very disadvantaged situation. So there will be still some melee enemies, but they will be far off and between, and they will be much tougher or like invisible, or they will have some sort of improvement to them. So knife will be mostly like a last defense weapon or stealth kill thing. So to facilitate that, we will like rebalance the monsters and like introduce some ammo types that like there will be cheap ammo for it will like decrease your gun durability more, but it will allow like to shoot more basically from the starter weapons. And the missions are going to be rebalanced also. So we want to eliminate the mission cycling, the need to cycle missions and the ability to cycle mission, because like it's not what we actually intended. Like we are aware that it happens. We were aware of it like the moment we basically introduced it, because like before we had the maintenance that offsetted the cost to waiting. Right now, like the maintenance is gone and there is no cost, so you basically wait and deliver your course. I'm not ready to announce how we deal with the problem, but yeah, we have a couple of solutions that hopefully everybody will like. So yeah, basically we hope in May Into the Radius becomes a much better game, and yeah, the changes will be very drastic because we change basically everything. So we can we couldn't save your progress in terms of campaign. We could save your items and whatever you have stored in your hub and your base, but we couldn't save your progress because the missions will happen in different times and they will be different. So we could save your and carry over your items, but I think it will kind of kill your interest and you will be much better off starting over, because it's so the joy of the getting your first gun and basically we are giving you a new game for the same amount of money that you have. But we will also save the last version of the radius inside the branch, so you can, if you don't like the new game, you can always roll back to the one the previous. Of course, it wouldn't be updated or supported, but yeah, you can always or you can play the earlier one. So yeah, hopefully it comes out in May, but things can shift around, and in June we want to introduce the basic modding. And for basic stuff, we want to expose all the config files that we have in data tables and this kind of, basically everything that is governed by some sort of a number. For example, how much HP you have, how much stamina is spent, how much monsters see you, hear you, how fast they can walk, and this kind of how much damage guns do. This kind of thing will be moddable. You won't be able to add any new weapons or basically new monsters or new locations, nothing like that. Well, at least with our support, you can still hack the game and do your own modding, but yeah, that's not the scope of the changes that we want to do. And yeah, that's kind of modding related. And also, we want to expand on the artifact hunting. So basically, we would like to introduce more artifact types with more active abilities. We want to make artifact hunting much more complex endeavor. So right now, the clusters that you find artifacts in, they are kind of too simple, too small. And there is only one artifact detector and one probe, so basically you get zero progress in terms of your artifact finding ability. So yeah, we want to introduce much bigger and more complex fields that you would need some more skill to navigate. That's one thing. The other thing is the higher tiers detectors that would make your life easier in those fields. And last but not least is the armor that could protect you from basically we want you to have some sort of equipment build. Basically you gear up for going to anomalies, or you gear up for combat, or you gear up in mixed and matched, but you suffer the consequence. And the third one is actually adding new mission types to the generic missions that are randomly generated, something like protect the area of monsters, or go clean it, or maybe bring some amount of I don't know, find 4 pistols or
radioactive spoons.
Yeah, so something like that, gathering missions. Nothing is yet decided concrete, but yeah, something along those lines. So
Yep.
that outlines kind of half a year of development, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this year we're gonna support the game right until the end of the game as we perceive it as a live game, but more on that when we start answering your questions. And I think we can go with this part right now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're not on Discord and you want to ask us a question, please join our Discord. I hope that the invite links are all over the place on Steam or Reddit. And yeah, so right now we're starting answering all those juicy 74 questions that you sent to us. Okay, let's start. So, any human NPCs to roam the zone?
No, not going to happen in the foreseeable future. Like if you're talking the living, breathing, we have already the mimics that kind of they look like human, they talk a bit and shoot to you. We will expand on that. There will be more clever shooting guys, but yeah, that's about it.
The next one is, why did you guys decide to leave early access when you did? It seemed like you're still developing the game for some time to come.
Yeah, we left early access because the game was kind of functional, but by that time, because you could finish it. It has a complete storyline. It had the content. But the way we approach it is that we develop it as a live game. We constantly improve it, iterate. We add new content for you to enjoy. So for us, it's not never finished, but it's always work in progress.
Okay, I guess we covered this one, but if you want to add something, what's your next big goal or feature you're working on for the game? Please check the previous 20 minutes of Alex sharing the info.
Yeah.
So, would you be able to implement a dialog box that allows either a Steamvr and Oculus mode to be selected when launching from the library?
Right now, unfortunately, we are not aware of a way to do that technically in Unreal Engine game without uploading 2 full-sized games in your so you would need download games twice. So basically we did that with branches in Steam.
How's work going on Troll Hunter?
Troll Hunter for now is kind of on a very slow burner. We gather the info, we pitched around, see how people react, and yeah, it's not going in full development, at least in half a year.
Yeah, and we'll definitely postpone the release date stated on Steam. Yeah. Will there be more added to the lore?
Yeah, sure. Once we may update the splitting and rehashing, we will be much more free to add in new locations, add in new treasure hunts, and this kind of thing that allows for a lore to take place and to be built upon.
Will there be a tape or photograph released to our Petror's Conspiracy blog?
We kind of don't update the Petror's Conspiracy blog. We used it as a marketing tool sometime lots of time ago. But right now we want to focus on putting everything that we make, every bit of lore just goes straight into the game for more people to enjoy.
Are there any plans to add new areas to the map?
Yeah, sure.
Are there any plans for more unique common missions?
Yep. That's kind of in
June. How does the internal process for deciding what content comes to the game first work? Obviously, bug fixes are number one, but if you have your own ideas as well as ones offered by the community, how do you decide?
Well, that's kind of the job of the game director and producer. That's me. So we have a vision for the game, like what we want players to experience, and we see like if the game is performing like up to that vision, and so we try to fix things that are hurting the most people first, and from then we just gauge the. Basically, I take every feature and compare how they work together to maintaining the game integrity and vision.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any plans on Into the Radius 2?
Not in this year, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we answered the question about revisiting the mission setup. We're going to do that. And another one was about dedicated Ironman. Say we're going to have those at the end of April.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. And another one about DLC maps is like we're trying to put as much as we can inside the game, not splitting it into like DLCs or such. We have some plans for supporter pack DLC, which is kind of more symbolic. Like we have like huge map there and art book and like soundtrack, maybe some custom like weapon skin, but it's pretty like symbolic. If you want to support us, you will get that. Other than that, like no huge DLCs, everything goes into the game. Another one is, will you be adding coffee and tea making mechanics to the game?
Yeah, maybe like we always try to add something like fun, like cigarettes or darts, or like one of the things that I think I forgot to mention is like vodka.
Yes.
Yeah, every style, like maybe guitar, maybe tea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we have those kind of fun things that we want to add. It just,
Yeah. Okay. Will there be a stamina rework?
I don't think so. Like, yeah.
Any plans to add more weapon attachments?
Yeah, the first, like, we want to, like, with the via weapon upgrade system to allow weapon attachment to most of the guns, and then to expand on the attachments available, so you will have your flashlight or like laser pointer on your shotgun or like rifle or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The favorite question about co-op mode.
Unfortunately, not going to happen, at least in this year. Because it's a lot of work, and it basically makes developing each feature after that much harder, like much more bug prone. And with such drastic changes to the game, we are in no position to like introduce something like co-op right now.
Modding in June. Will there be a custom SDK?
No, like that's basically the text file editing. Like maybe somewhere down the line, like because we are an Unreal Engine game, the way the modding works there is that we need to like use an Unreal Engine as a mod tool, but that is a whole lot of the like different work and remakes in the game to make that possible. So yeah, it's somewhere in the same realm that co-op resides.
Any plans for New Game Plus?
I'd love to do that, but yeah, it's always somewhere in the low priority somewhere. Like I can't promise anything on that.
What are the recommended DLSS settings?
Well, it depends on your headset basically, because if you have something like high res, like for example Index or Quest 2, I think only quality preset cuts it because it gets too blurry. But maybe I tried it on Rift test and I could actually get it unbalanced. Like it's, I don't know. It really very much depends on how you like it or the resolution that you are at. Maybe if you're super sampling much, then yeah, you can choose a different preset.
The control scheme is changed to symmetrical so that buttons control the weapon in hand only, excluding wife. And is there a limitation with like wife that made this not possible for us to implement that?
Yeah, unfortunately, Vive doesn't have enough buttons. They're like we're capped there, and yeah, there's nothing we can do about it.
Any plans to tweak or refine the lighter?
I don't kind of know what to tweak there. Like we maybe will introduce more fun things to do with it. But yeah, maybe lighting something up like fire. But yeah, right now it's used for smoking, and you could use it as a light source.
Also, maybe light up those gas barrels.
Yeah, you can actually
obvious.
do that. Like I haven't seen actually players do that because it's kind of not very intuitive, but they have this little valve on top, and if you like use trigger and open it, you will see the hiss of gas escaping the tube, and if you put a lighter there, it will start burning, and like you can explode it this way, but it's just a very complicated way to do things.
But this could be your benefit of watching our talking heads. So yeah, in the middle of a stream, here is some trick for you. Okay.
Yeah, and actually one more trick people I think don't know is that you can actually damage, like if you throw your ammo boxes inside the fire, they will start, like the bullets will start going off. It's kind of this trap, but it's like, yeah, really hard to use on somebody.
Yeah, but you could use that on yourself. Yeah, just for fun. Okay. How will the granular difficulty options affect the Iron Man mode achievement?
We haven't decided yet on that, I think, yeah.
Another question was about Dlss going to increase or improve quality, and this is totally not something we could do. It's solely on NVIDIA to improve the technology. Another question would be, will noisemakers ever be in the cards for a future update?
Right now, I don't see much use of a noisemaker because you have like weapons. They are perfect noisemakers for everything. But yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Would the weapon upgrade feature make it possible to attach a suppressor to the Mosin or Tiger rifle?
Yeah.
What about weapon skins and different clothing?
Well, that's one thing that we wanted to do for a supporter pack if we release one, but maybe down the line we could do more thing with custom guns, but right now it's not on the table. We have a much more pressing issues.
Another question was about the fundamental change of locations and loot being changed when we split the map, and yeah, totally yes, everything will change. Another one after that is, how will the overall map size, the size of all the smaller maps combined, compared to the map size now? Will it be bigger, smaller, or about the same?
It will be a bit bigger, I think. Yeah, we haven't ironed out it completely, but yeah, overall it should be bigger.
Okay, personal question time. Have you tried out the mods for Stalker games, such as Anomaly or Misery?
Yeah, sure. I've been a long time Stalker player from like childhood, and so I played lots of maybe those mods. Like, yeah, I think the Misery is the one that I like. I haven't like played the Anomaly because it's kind of a newer one compared to the other ones. But yeah, I've played a lot in Misery.
As well, if the map will have different areas, will mob spawning be looked into, as not to just have the same enemy spawning in fixed locations?
Yeah, we want to do more randomized spawning because right now the way it's set up, it's like 90% I think is fixed and 10% is randomized. We want to go something like 50-50 or yeah, something along those lines.
Dynamic weather.
We'd love to expand on the fog weather that we have, but I think we will stick with it for some time.
Would it be possible to have randomized spawning points for the anomalies within their fields?
They are actually randomized. Like right now, there are two, like the anomaly clusters that you find artifacts in. They're kind of the maze-like structure, and those are randomized, like they are randomly rotated, and the anomalies they are swapped. And the other way is the anomaly that you encounter somewhere. Those are kind of randomized too. So yeah, there's kind of plenty of random.
Will there also be new story missions added when the map gets bigger?
Yeah, there will. I think there will be one or two story missions.
Gas masks, clothing, or gear, something that I can wear, please.
Yeah, that's kind of in June-ish. Because yeah, that's the thing that we want to allow you to gear up for combat or for anomaly hunting. So you will have your gas mask, your helmet, your body armor, and this kind of thing.
Any plans to add more shotgun ammo?
Right now, no.
Any thoughts on changing the vest as an upgrade, just like the backpacks?
Yeah, maybe we will do it with like body armor switch the way done Stalker, like you switch the body armor and like you have different slots, or we could do it separately, but actually there is not much of a wiggle room inside there, like because you still need your detector, you still need your probes and this kind of thing. But maybe we could play around with placing, like you could have your gun on, like your secondary weapon on your chest or something, like some slots could accept not only pistols but shotguns or submachine guns or something like that.
Okay, will new armored enemies have weak spots of some kind?
Yeah, like all enemies have sort of a critical zone, like that does critical damage if you shoot in it.
Do you intend on adding new weapons in the future, like the Springfield Armory M1A?
Yeah, sure, like we will add new weapons. Everybody loves weapons. We love weapons. So yeah, you'll definitely get your Colt, Desert Eagle, M1 Grand, M14, and Barrett somewhere down the line once they're like, yeah.
One, there is a time for us to have a comfortable sleep and then develop the game in a healthy manner. Yeah. Okay, so will the game feature more factions than just the UN?
No, that's kind of the Radius 2 territory.
Can you allow us to listen to tapes of choice list out in the Radius?
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of a nice idea, like to put on the music, but we need to figure out how to do it UI wise.
Do you have any plans to change the selling prices? Because things sell for a fifth of the price.
Well, even after the rebalance of the economy, most of the like we don't want you to earn money from collecting lots of junk, and like we like we don't like the way it works right now. So you will still get more money from the missions, even like with mission cycling gone, you will just get stuff, like you would get more payment from the missions overall to offset your costs. And the other thing is that we want to introduce some sort of resource that you can gather that is light or stackable or something that basically provides you extra money if you take your time to explore around. Yeah, so we don't want you to just pick up everything that is lying there and just hoarding like lots of kilograms of junk just to like spend your time picking it up and selling it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are there any plans to support index controllers further?
Like the only thing is that not supported on index controllers is finger tracking. Maybe the other way. Well, yeah, maybe the other thing the index is kind of set up like the other controllers is that it relies mostly, like not mostly, like it relies more on trigger, like for knife throws or opening doors or something. Like it's maybe less intuitive for index users overall. We would love to do that, like to handle index very specially. Yeah, but I can't get you a time frame on that.
What do you think about adding older weapons or new weapon types like revolvers?
Sure, it will happen sometime, but
Will there ever be a way to increase the number of storage shelves you have in Vano?
Maybe because like right now you can store it everywhere, so basically you can take up the shelves that are outside your base. There are plenty of shelves all around Vano. You can just put it everywhere. But if we see that it actually gets to you, maybe we can introduce more shelves. Like, why not?
With questions like that, is more about like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like when you ask some things, you're like, hey, maybe. But yeah, okay. This is going to be the last question regarding the questions that we got before the stream on Friday. So if cigarettes have been added, can we have alcohol as well?
Yep, you can have alcohol.
Yes.
Especially outside of the game.
Yeah, of course.
If you're like legal age.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, vodka is coming into the radius. Yeah, okay. I think we have like only 20 questions left. These ones are the ones that you like put on Discord after the stream. And again, if you're watching this video somewhere outside of Discord and you have any questions, please join our Discord. So the first question was about this hotfix of items spazzing out when grabbing, and I guess we fixed that.
Yep.
Should be fine now. Okay. Another one is, will we see a spectator camera in the future?
I don't think so, because it basically means you have to re-render the whole scene once more, and that basically like hurts your performance very much, and like only like the beast rigs can afford using it in our game, so I don't see much point in like spending our efforts in there.
Another question was about the idea for new backpacks and armor, but I think you covered that already. Another one is, how's business?
Great. Buy the game.
Yeah, buy the game and it will become even greater. Yeah, right now it's kind of like very delicate time, and we have this growth and opportunities, but we don't want to ruin everything, because actually, again, as Spider-Man's uncle said, like with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah, right now it's like we could say that this is a success, but we're trying to be very accurate with where we proceed. Okay, and growing real slow. Okay, so will the Steam version of Into the Radius always be updated with new patches, or is it being phased out?
Nope. It's basically we always do the simultaneous update of the two branches. Yeah.
Is it possible to make it so you can put cigarettes in your mouth, like in another game?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about changing it up a bit. Yeah, maybe.
Will future enemy types keep the current aesthetic and be essentially silhouettes?
Yeah, more or less. We there. If you're waiting for some mutant, meaty, gory thing, that ain't gonna happen. But we want to improve the animations, detailing, and VFX of the monsters to come.
I guess we covered the next one about upgrades and backpacks. Okay, add more weapon. Do we have an intention of adding something like SVT4T?
Sorry?
SVT40.
Ah, yeah. Maybe. Like it's a very rare gun, kind of World War era. But yeah, maybe.
Any original design weapons for Radius?
Maybe, but not in like this half a year at least.
Any comically impractical guns?
Maybe later, yeah, because we want to make a niche first for the guns, because like high caliber guns or like machine guns right now are not practical, but we actually want to make a niche for high caliber sniper rifles or something along those lines, so it would be actually more like situational use. So once we get a use case for that, we will make those.
Any chance to add an option to increase LODs and shadow frame rates?
Yeah, that's kind of going into the graphics options. You could tweak the view distance basically and the LODs, how they behave.
Yeah, end of April. Okay, who did the voice work for the tapes? Was it one of the devs or a professional voice actor?
It's a mix of professional actors, amateurs, and some dev work also.
Okay, so I guess we covered the next one about the modding. Only basic modding, like all the numbers, you could tweak that, no weapons yet. Again, do you think we might get the ability to disable certain types of monsters in the future?
I don't think so.
We were having this discussion of like reducing the rate of some enemies, but it's still debatable. Let's see. What is the reason for splitting up the map? Is it for performance or for other reasons? Again, I think we kind of covered that.
So basically it's both.
Yeah. Okay, another question is kind of rhetoric one. So like the person states that the silence AKM sound pretty realistic on full auto, but then sounds like something really cheap and non-quality on the single shot. Why is that?
Because kind of we don't have AKM to record properly with all the sound equipment, so we take it from different sources where we get, like we buy sounds, we like source them, and yeah, like the sounds could use lots of improvement inside the game. That's one area we will focus on a bit like later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd love to address like because like right now lots of guns like use the same sounds anyway.
Buy the game, help us to assemble our own weapon shelf. Yeah. Okay, so is the zone splitting going to be like the current map cut into like 4 pieces or however many, or is going to be like a world map, and when you visit particular locations, those locations are their own zones?
They're kind of split. The current map is kind of split. There is no world map to walk along. So it's basically like in Stalker, you go straight from one map to the other.
And I guess maybe this question contains something about like teleportation or something. No, it's still you can go right from your base up to like any point. It just you will have this like interconnections you should proceed with.
Yeah, basically multiple loading screens, like depending on like where you go.
Okay, and the next one is very thematic. So maybe it would be nice if we shorten the commute between missions.
Like it means
like getting to the point where you actually accomplish the mission from your start point. Like, I don't know, Morrowind, giant creatures in order to get you, this kind of thing, I guess.
Well, we'll see once we split the map. Like we will take a look at how long things take, and maybe there will be like more like some teleporting artifacts or something along those lines. But yeah, it's not decided yet.
And the last question. I found a big MAK ammo box in 9x18. How rare and how many of those are there?
Actually, like we plan to add those for every caliber, and they would be sold in the shop. And actually, the one that you got, it's kind of unwanted artifacts. Just throw it away. But yeah, we decided not to take it away from the ones who found it. So yeah, it's basically a slip on our part because those boxes are kind of not ready for their prime time, but it's very soon.
Okay, I think it covers all the questions we got up to this point. Thank you guys for listening, for the ones who made it to the end of the video. And I guess we see you on the next stream at the end of April, hopefully. And yeah, cheers. Thank you. And Chiki Priki Vdomki maybe. There should be here. Yeah.
Join our Discord, ask us questions, and the keeps like your feedback keeps us going, and yeah, that's the thing that informs our decisions anyway. So if you love the game, if you hate the game, just like give us feedback. That's the way basically you change it.
Yeah. And love is not only hugs and bells and whistles. So a pure hate, like the constructive one, also helps in strictly manner of measurements. Okay, yeah. This is it. Thank you guys and have fun. Yeah, bye.
Yeah, see you around.